Let's talk about what's going on in the world. So just kind of a crazy time. So I'm posting a lot of stuff on social media, if you follow me, and I kind of post stuff right across the platforms pretty similarly most days to give everybody some sort of, insights or help on how to help themselves mentally and emotionally through this and psychologically. My personal position on it is, the sickness part and the virus part is terrible for sure. If you get it, if you have any friends or family that are sick, a lot of us have, family members that have a lot of different, illnesses and ailments going on besides that. I know I sure do. Aside from that, and wherever that is, and I'm certainly not a doctor, my role here is really try to support people through this and now start to move into the sales, attitude, money side of it as the light is sort of coming out at the end of the tunnel. And I really believe, we look back at this thing in 6 months or a year or 10 years, that the mental, emotional, psychological damage of it is going to be equal to or far worse than the actual physical part. Let's get into our 5 minutes here of ideas. And this one here is going to be about sales. So we're going to talk about sales, attitude, and money and all these live at fives. Let's talk about this a little bit right now. So what I want to go through is some ideas because we're talking about sales, attitude, and money. And this is from my sales book. If you haven't read it, it's a great little one. And I'm just pulling random tips out of my 3 books and anything else that kind of comes to mind. So let's talk about the road to a sale or path to success or anything like that. I really have always trained that it's not a straight line. And today, for sure, it's less of a straight line than any other time that I've been in the business because of all the craziness going on in the world. So if you've been training any kind of a road to a sale, which is generally in most industries, you meet the customer, you find out what they want to do, you pick out a product, you show the product, you price it out, and you take their money. This may not be possible because in a lot of industries right now, we have a lot of people starting off and maybe even finishing virtually. We've got a slice of consumers in the next few months that are going to get used to the virtual process. From our perspective in the business, everybody it looks like is going to be buying or selling, virtually. But it's only a piece of all the people that buy a car, let's say every 3, 4, or 5 years. But what it's going to do, obviously, is train our consumers into a habit to start off even more online and get used to finishing it online. So what's happening here, and we've been talking about this forever, is it's pushing the ball further down the field for the dealership to have all the processes and people in place to be able to make sure this transaction goes smoothly online. So if they're filling out a web form on your website, if they're sending the dealership an email or what have you, on other segments I'll get into how to deal with those email leads more specifically. But this person now is potentially as transaction ready as anybody because in the climate that we're in and the insecurity and fear that's going on out there, if they're contacting a dealer to spend $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 in a car, you're probably talking to a buyer. Now, when you start off with an e-lead or an internet inquiry, and what's happening is people behind a keyboard are generally the most anonymous, most aggressive. You want to get them moving to the small keyboard, which is off email, and get them perhaps texting or on the phone. Video is going to be a key component here with everybody that's selling cars. So video walkarounds, video appraisals, video qualifying, video rapport, all of that stuff. If you're not familiar with video, you better get familiar with it right soon. I've again been talking about this for years. So this mobile computer that I'm talking into right now that we make phone calls on once in a while is now primarily a video tool. People do not have the time, energy, or effort to read anything anymore. It's going to be video, video, video. Now, when this sale starts with a consumer, those basic steps I just went through kind of still have to happen even virtually. You want to try to overlap steps. So what I mean by overlapping steps is maybe during the initial discussion, while you're building rapport, you're finding out urgency, right? You're kind of indirectly finding out wants and needs. When you get into discussion of the vehicle and the features of the vehicle, I would overlap into that maybe approximate price and payment ranges during that discussion. So it's sort of 2 steps at one to make sure you're on the right vehicle that way. When you're looking at their trade, right? People right now today want a lot more for this car than what it's actually worth because they don't understand that market values are dipping and it's all based on supply and demand. Manufacturer generally sets the price on the new cars that we're selling for the most part. So you're going to want to dehorse, devalue, and detach that customer from that car as easily as you can while you're collecting information. Everything is based on really mutual, honest disclosure. Say this from the beginning. That's the car that you're selling or I'm selling as well as buying that trade. And then when it gets to closing, I would really recommend you get to some kind of a form or a checklist. I call my thing a customer statement, but something where you can process that client effectively and efficiently to move towards a close. Dealerships are doing money-back guarantees if customers don't take the car for a test drive because some customers don't want to based on the environment that we're in. Some dealerships are using rebates very openly to pay off high interest rate credit cards and so on. But your ability to maintain flexibility and consistency through the sale while you move that customer, virtually through the process is going to be pretty important. The type of training that I'm doing right now and the conversation I'm having with clients is really two things, okay? It's looking at process and procedure in the store right now, and actually for a lot of it, it's trying to prevent or have people recover from brain damage that's going on because of this. And then as new people come into the business, and we're going to have a hard time getting some people back into our showrooms that were with us before, it's going to be sales training and also sort of the new frontier. I've now officially been in the car business in 4 years. I talked about BG for a lot before Google because I started, training then after Google. And after Google, the more research people were doing and the more use they got to doing that in the AG, which is the environment we're in as of about a month ago, it was very different than before Google selling, the whole information and everything we were doing. Now, we can look at before Google and after Google. So before 1996 and after 1996, which sounds like a long time ago, but the last 5 years or so, technology has taken over things a lot. Now let's look at this. The next two areas, we have BP before pandemic and AP after pandemic. And this is another demarcation in our business where processes are different and processes have to change. Thanks so much for watching. Now, if you want to proceed with Merino TV, coaching, when we get back on our feet here with live seminars, please consider that. Or, Zoom meetings for your dealership, Google Hangouts, or whatever other software you've got, or VideoWare, Google Duo, anything like that, we're here for you. Call us at 1-888-735-6275, 1-888-735-6275. Email us at info@duanemarino.com or go to our website, which is www.duanemarino.com. I'm out of here, friends. Take care, and we'll see you later. Happy selling if you are selling anything.